Welcome back in, everyone. This is Black Girls Talking TV, where we bring the group chat to life and discuss all your favorite TV shows. Today is all about Love Island Games, Season 2, Episode 8. I am Victoria. I am one of your hosts, and I'm a psychologist.
I'm Kamaria. I'm an attorney and a pop culture writer. And KK and Chris, they got home.
A moment of silence. A moment of silence. Please. Okay. Like, no, y'all didn't go out there and get mollywopped on that flow.
I don't even think they got mollywopped.
Yeah, they did. They really did.
Especially not Chris. Especially not Chris. Not even because of the broken. He was winning that whole time, and it was just like the.
So was KK.
Yes. But the second one, KK was like. She was failing in that one, but the first one, it was just like when she was like whop over to this score, no whop. I was like okay, and then Chris started doing that strategy as well. But the second one, as soon as she lost the shoe, I was like, oh god,
so
you
over with.
Gotta definitely take off the other sock. Like you cannot win this in socks. Period. You gotta take the other sock off. So I remember, I do. Oh, I was to say something. I just off topic. I'm sorry, but I do African dance, right? And you supposed to dance barefoot. And I remember one time, the funniest thing, like the instructor, new girl came in. She wanted her feet to be shown, and she had socks on. And he said, "Why? Like, stop it! She trying to sue us. Like, you gonna get hurt, girl. You gonna slide. You gonna fall." And so you can't get no grip without like. So I was like, "Oh, she got to take these socks off."
You don't do socks you don't wear socks in anything, not in yoga. Like it is a recipe for disaster. So I thought she was gonna slide it all off, girl. But I definitely was thinking, why your shoes ain't tied? I mean, this is how you double knot, triple knot around the ankle if you got to.
But wasn't it just like it just seemed like it came off? Like you saw it not.
Girl, there's ways to tie your shoe. Okay, I used to run marathons. You have to tie your shoes. That flip on and just do the real basic knot. Like, no, all that game mode, y'all was all in. Tie your shoes. Make sure them shoes is on, girl. Them your grippers. That's your grippers. That was your number one tool. You need them shoes on. As soon as she lost that shoe, I said, "It's over. It's over." Ain't
no.
She ain't got the toe grip strength of a lion. Like she ain't finna be holding on like a cat to that material, and it's probably hot as hell. Like like the jumpers or whatever the
sweating
at the birthday parties.
I cannot. Not you have me rolling today. That is hilarious. I ain't got time, but that
I was pissed off, quite honestly. I said, KK, this was your challenge, baby. Like, I'm like, her and Andrina, I'm like, y'all got the legs. Y'all got the leg. This was a leg.
Yeah, no.
This was a leg competition. You should have been 1 step, 2 step.
But I think it was a mix of both, though. Like, I do think it was, like, the arms as well. Like, you had to have that strength to, like, pull it back and that momentum or whatever. Because, like, even on the Chris side of it, I thought that Johnny was going to, mop the floor with him because he's more built and he's got more, but it's just like, I think the height was in his favor. So maybe that was the opposite that we just weren't also seeing with Andrea because...
Well, I also think, too, like, getting low to the floor wasn't the best in the beginning. I think you're supposed to do it at the end when y'all tired, because in the beginning it's like the person can now like drag you a little bit, right? And so if the strength is there enough to drag you, and if you don't have the leg strength to like really hold on to that bag, I feel like it's over with. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I really realized is that like what she should have probably did is like when Andrea was down on the ground and she kept trying to pull her and she was like laying, she had her feet around her like a hot dog or whatever. She should have walked up to the side of where her head was and dragged her from that side, because the girl would have been like, "What? I'm not ready. I don't know how to stop." There's no planting your feet from that side. Like that's what she should have did. So, but kudos to her for like giving KK. I'm saying kudos to KK for trying a different strategy in round 2. You know.
Yeah.
So it just didn't work out for her. But I was like, this villa about to be not shit. Like it's gonna be dry. Ain't nobody like
Yes.
KK broke all these hearts. Tyreek, the new guy, probably was like,
Yes.
the only person
Yes.
who is probably happy that she's going is Chris. Hopefully he acts a little bit more right. You know what I mean? Like in terms of like being intentional and stepping forward instead of standing still with her. Since they're out on the outside, maybe that he'll be a little more natural, be a little bit less, guarded. They're not in the game, and just like, fuck with the girl. Like you like
I
her, she
hope
like
so.
you. Go
I hope
ahead.
so. I hope so. I sure
Yeah.
was like, girl, don't give him that first. We'll see what
Don't
happens
get
on
him
the
what first.
We'll see what happens on the
No,
outside.
he said
Like,
it. He said it. Didn't he say
okay.
it? Yeah, he said.
Well, she said
He
it
said.
first.
No, I'm talking
But
about before that. Earlier when they were sitting down, he was like, "This is gonna, no matter what happens, this is gonna be on the outside. That's for sure." Was that a confessional,
okay,
or
I
did he
missed
say it to
that.
her? I thought he said it to her. I mean, I thought he said it to her.
Probably had. I was washing dishes, child. But
Not you washing dishes, girl. You gotta be taking your good notes for the people. They come here to hear the story. What happened?
I was taking good notes, but
I'm
so
joking,
their conversation kind of was
I don't
like,
be taking
because I was
notes.
just like, oh, who is about to win, baby? Like, I was ready.
Yeah.
I was in that kitchen like, I was looking like Andrina.
Right. And I'll get on her in a quick little second, but I
Yes.
do want to talk about how the duel is so entertaining. Like, it's
Yes.
so entertaining. Like, I said this the last time. I was like, them kissing challenges, no. This duel, yes. Like, the duels are where it's at. And it's just sad that it went down on the wrong side this time, but there are some entertaining things. Now, I was like, it is a little bit dangerous, these things. Like, they need to have another way to do these that's not so like got a broken finger. The other time it looked like their stomach regions were being pulled by. It just is like it just is a lot. I don't know.
Try his games. Like
I ain't got time.
What competition show with these games is it not dangerous? Survivor is dangerous. The challenge is dangerous. Like
I don't watch the challenge,
on Big Brother. I'd be like, bro, like let somebody fall off this thing wrong, even though they fallen into this little soft plushy pillow thing. Like it's I've been thinking about my ankle because I had ankle surgery. Like if I just had to drop off of that, I already know, baby, that's a hard land. Like they're all dangerous. Like, but you signed up for that. I'm sure they signed waivers.
I feel you. I'm not saying in terms of liability. I'm just saying in terms of like, damn, why do people gotta like lose a limb to play the game? Just do something better. Like I don't know.
You ain't gotta lose a limb, but if you want to go out there and play hard, you want to go out there and play hard, baby.
And then also speaking of hoops, though, Chris, I'm like, does he play ball still or not? Because that don't seem like something you'd be out here risking your money maker.
When he said it's not worth the risk, I was like, I wrote down, yeah, I feel you, babes. Get on out because your hand is your moneymaker. Like,
but is he still doing it? Because it's like, why are you even here? Like, you know what I'm saying? You know, like for like football and stuff like that, like they'll have like, what is it, the Rose Bowl or something like that, like those, or the Pro Bowl, whatever it is that's right before the Super Bowl, or like the All-Star games and stuff like that before they don't have their big players in there who are in the championship still because they don't want to get them injured in some little one-off game.
Yeah, I get you. I don't think
so. I was like, why he doing this?
I think from what I've heard in some of I think in some of his interviews, or even on the season, I think he mentioned like he's not sure what's next for him, if he's gonna go back to play ball or if he's gonna try and pivot and do something else. So I don't know if he's still in that space. I don't know. He's getting up there. I feel like he's mid-20s, late 20s.
I have no clue.
I don't know exactly, but I feel like after a time, you're not trying to do that forever. Like everybody ain't trying to be the next LeBron playing for the rest of their lives. So
no, I can see that.
Yeah, but, I'm not sure.
But he talked about it like he was actively a ball player, and I think like that's an odd choice.
He might be. I feel like when it comes to them overseas teams, you kind of like can be in and out however you please, for real. But yeah, let's go ahead and move into the Andrina and Johnny side of it all. Ciao. Andrina, when she fell and she was doing all that, I was like, man, if I had somebody on the sidelines, I need them rooting like, KK, I don't need to be worried that you're going to be hurt on the sidelines trying to root for me. You talking about you about to throw up. You're crying before the thing starts. Like, girl.
Yeah,
She's
no,
corny. She's cringy. She's a little. I keep coming back to that because 10 out of 10. She keep doing it. She keep doing stuff that just proves that she is just a little. She a little different. She's an odd one. She is. She is not in a bad
I
way,
just
but
it's not like a bad way, but for me, like I said, everything just falls under the umbrella of it feels like she doesn't know how to act, so she's acting, she's faking. Like in all she does, she is being dramatic, she is being everything is just like theatrics.
yeah,
And it may be because of like we talked in the past couple episodes, she was talking about the confidence and putting on something as an armor. I don't know that the fakeness might be her armor. Like
yeah,
and I don't mean fake like oh you a fake bitch, like not like that. Just meaning like she not being authentic. She not being herself. And it shows up in these ways that are peculiar. You're reading it as cringy or corny or cheesy or whatever. And for me, I just think she is just it's just a lack of authenticity. That's what it's
yeah,
giving for me. It's like
yeah.
she's putting on for the cameras.
Some of
But
the girls
not
in
in
the
a
chat
bad way. She just don't know. I don't think she just know what to do, what to say, how to be. She's just trying to
have a
make her mark
personality.
in the stardom world. Yeah, and she just doesn't know what to do. I'm not faulting her for it. I just think it's
Yeah,
all comes from that space, personally. But
I
what the
think
girls in the
maybe
chat said, because
I'm
I ain't been in the chat lately. Which chat?
yeah, child.
We
Chat
got two
number
loves line
shoot.
chats, y'all. Chat number
I
two,
think chat
okay.
number 2, Love Island chat number 2. Let us know if you want to join. Hell yeah, we got
Oh
3
yeah,
chats
yeah,
for
yeah,
you.
yeah,
But
yeah. Got
Love
time.
Island chat number 2, they was talking about someone she trying to pull an Amaya, like an Amaya Papaya, and be like
Oh,
the
the
I guess the
likable one.
ditzy,
Yeah, we
absent
said that
minded,
before
likable
too.
one.
Yeah. Mhm.
So it
Yeah.
could be that, but I feel like maybe I'm operating in a space of like a halo effect with Andrina. Like I just see her as this beautiful woman. She came in
She
bombshell
is.
of all bombshells, right? Like,
Mhm.
and it's just like I don't know. I guess I just expected her to just move with a little bit more like like with like this captivating energy, or like
I got
the
you.
like the sex appeal a little
Mhm.
bit, and not just
Mhm.
so like I don't know, like it just I feel like it's giving like the nerd on the playground. And again, I say that not in a bad way, but like that is just like kind of what it's giving a little bit, with the laugh and the crying and the
And do you think
pull
that
him,
that's
pull him,
like
pull him.
are you saying like you think that that's like
I'm
just
saying because of the
not
halo effect,
na-
I'm just in disbelief. Like it just does not go with the persona, I guess, that we saw in a
Oh, okay,
season
it's a
7.
mismatch.
Yes, it's a
I
mismatch.
got you.
110%. 110%.
Yeah,
Like I thought she was
yeah.
gonna move a
Like
little bit more like gracefully and light. Like you
uh
stumbling over your feet, stumbling over your words, crying every 5 seconds. I'm like, girl, you thank you for being here with like I don't know. I don't
I just
know.
don't think, like I said, I said what I said. I
Said
think
what
she
girl,
doesn't
I
know
understand. I
what to
understand.
do, and she's just faking. And
Yeah.
so I just that's where the way I see it with her, not faking, like yeah, faking, but I don't, just not being authentic. But anyway,
Yeah.
but yeah, she was doing a lot.
Yeah. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and move into Nicola and Isaiah. They were the power couple and they had to make the
Hmm.
decision. Now, I will say, I was
Hmm.
with KK. Girl, you are the power couple. You
Yeah.
got to make the decision. It is a bad place to be in, but baby, just hold on to your decision. Like, it's going to be a little tense in the air because it is a competition. It ain't got to be all of that. I had a hard time
Yeah.
getting in. And I know she's a sweet and innocent girl, so this is probably just
Yeah.
not her thing, right? And then there's also
Mhm.
probably just like cultural differences at play where it just you know. But it's like, when we in the mode, we in the mode. Like you can't
Mhm.
disrupt that. Like you can't disrupt that. They trying to prepare. You say what you got to say when the duel is over because you just put them in there.
Or I mean, like I totally agree. Like or she could have just like at the beginning said when she came over there, she saw Chris and KK. She could have the first words out of her mouth instead of explaining what her reasoning and what happened. She could have just been like, I am so sorry to you both. I don't know if you have a moment and you want to talk or whatever. If they don't, give them that space, because like when I saw KK do that, and Chris to some degree, but when I saw her say like no thank you, like, and walk away or whatever, it's like it reminded me a little bit of like the boundaries that were with Shelly last season with the whole thing, because people don't like a lot of times people have boundaries. So I wonder how people are going to receive this. But the
Yeah.
way Nicola took it, I was just like, girl, it's like she's like, I feel like a horrible person, but you have to emotionally regulate how you're feeling about this.
Right.
You keep putting that on this other person to make you feel better about your decision. You made the decision. You have to soothe what the fallout for yourself. She's
Right.
trying to soothe the fallout that you caused for herself, in her own time, in her own space. And so you got to do that for yourself. You're trying to get her to do that for you and let you off the hook a little bit. And it's like, she was very nice. She was like, no, thank you. The walk off, she walked off, but it's like, whatever. I don't want to be here. I don't want to sit around with you.
Yeah,
like,
I don't want to hear about this. I'm not ready to hear about this. Right. Well, not only that, but it's like, I don't want to have to think about this before I have to go into this
and
duel.
do my challenge.
But
yeah.
no, I thought about the same thing. I was like, Lord, they finna tear KK up for this. And all I could think when it happened was when the duel is over. Yeah, when all I thought was when the duel is over, KK and Chris better go up to this girl, better go up to Isaiah and just say it's all good. I'm glad that they did. And I'm only saying that not because I feel like I'm not saying
I'm of the mind if they ain't feel it, they ain't have to feel it. That's $250,000.
Yes,
boo, boo,
but
boo,
I ain't
boo,
got
you lost
time
me.
for
You took money out of my money.
Yeah, but I'm saying I don't got time for KK or Chris coming out this villa and dealing with any type of shit that other people have had to deal with, because people don't understand that they just need a minute, like.
Yeah. And not only that too, like, one of the things, like, I remember in her confessional towards the end, Nicola said, like, I just feel like a horrible person. And it's like, you feel like that. That's your own feelings that popped in your head. This girl never said you're a horrible person. She just doesn't like your decision. She just didn't feel like a friend, like, this is my buddy. My buddy had my back. And that doesn't mean that she thinks you're a horrible person. You are creating thoughts in your head, and then they're causing you to cry because of your own thoughts. And so it's like, you really just have to, it's emotional regulation. You have to regulate yourself. And we said this before, but last season, it's like, just because you cry doesn't mean that it's somebody's to blame or whatever. Because she was just like, I just never would speak to somebody that way. Okay. Like, that's a boundary. She did not speak to her poorly. She did not say anything badly. She just had a boundary. She just was like, I do not want to speak to you. I'm processing. I'm trying to prep for the challenge, the duel.
Yeah. Agreed. Yeah, hot ass mess for sure. I was like, but yeah, that was the only reason why I was just like, I hope she just says something. Not saying that she deserved.
I mean, not sorry, but like,
not sorry, but just said something to address it. Not saying that she deserved it, but it's like people just, I feel like it's just for the perception of it all, and I hate that even has to be an option or something that we have to think about, but it is, right? Because you just don't want to come out and walk into a dangerous situation. I don't want to see that for her.
I don't want to see that for her either, but I also am not here for the faking. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so I feel like you do what you do. You know what I'm saying? That's why I back Shelly still. You know what I'm saying? Like, you do what you do. If you want to, if you're ready to, when you're ready to forgive, when you're ready to say, whatever, you do what you do, because that was $250,000. You know what I'm saying? And you literally just took that opportunity away from them. And so it's cool, but give them a second. Give them a second to process. They're about to go into this challenge. Give them a second. And you could tell how when she ended and she was like, fuck, like, homegirl was going through it. I do want to talk about the decision making that was going on between Isaiah and Nicola in the room, but did you have anything else on this?
The last thing I had to say on this was, I love that Justine was like, it's gonna feel like this the entire time in here. Like, this is a competition game. I wanted Justine to add on, girl, if you can't take the heat, get out the kitchen. But
and like, when she said you did what was best for you, and that's the thing. It's like, you have to just own that. You have to recognize that, like, KK's tears are not my problem, just like your tears when KK said no thank you are not her problem. You just have to know that if you made the decision that was best for you, you own it. How they feel about it is not of your concern. You all in your head worrying about how they feeling about it, and that's making you feel a certain way, and that's why you all in tears. Is you doing this to yourself. You have to just recognize that you did it and just like move forward.
Right.
But
yeah, the decision making.
Yeah, the decision making. I'm like, how we get here? That's another thing.
Yeah, they
It's
didn't
like,
give me enough of that. I wanted to see more of that conversation and how they got to the end. It felt like it was a chop and screwed. No, this person, no, that person. I don't know what this person. So you're saying this. Now we're fighting. I'm like, what? But ultimately, I would have made the decisions that they made if I wasn't there. I would get out strong competitors on each side.
Yeah, it just depends. Like Johnny would have been definitely for sure on the list. I think I would have picked one strong guy and one weaker guy. So I would have did Johnny and Tony personally.
Why?
Because I think you only need to piss off one strong guy. Like now I feel like, I mean, granted,
that one strong guy would likely still be the one strong guy in the competition. So they would still be pissed.
Oh no, you're right.
There'll still be one strong guy pissed.
Well, actually, no. Stop. This is where I feel about it. So you're right, but what I'm basically saying is that like you say like I put you in here because I know you about to beat this guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're bigger, you're whatever. So that's why you're in here. You have that argument. But when you put him up against the other big guy, it's like, bitch, you want one of us to go, okay, got it. Yeah. And you can't be like, you can't say that argument to either of them. But like if she had put Andrina in there with Andrea, she could just like, look, she did poorly in the challenge. I'm not, if she was friends with Andrea, what is the girl's name? Andrea. But yeah, they could have had like more of a like, I don't know. I guess the other person would still be pissed off because it's like you couldn't have put Chris in.
Yeah,
Chris and Toby.
No matter what, you piss somebody off in a situation like this, especially when all you have is 3 options. Like people gonna be pissed, and it's gonna be one person who is happy out of the entire.
For sure.
Out of the entire 3 people. And so it's like you make a relationship with them. If I was Isaiah, I would be like, Toby, like I wanted to save you. I felt like it wouldn't have been fair for real. If you went up in there, I feel like, maybe like me and you would have been a better, pair up, but not them. And I feel like we got to keep working together to keep the stronger guys out of the top. Like,
yeah, I do agree with that. If that's your closer people. I was a little confused by all of this because all these best friends that came out in this episode.
Everybody, my best friend, y'all been in there for like a week. Everybody,
I know. I'm saying like in the game though. I'm saying like I didn't even know like when Andrea and Kay kept saying like, oh, weird. I was like, I didn't even recognize that. And then there was Nicola and she's talking about Kay. I'm like, oh, I didn't recognize that either. And so it's like, personally, I would have there is strategy in picking your people who are your people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But also I guess there's strategy in like, trying to get rid of strong competition. But, they perform bad in that next challenge. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when we're talking about what is strong competition, it's like what is strong competition? They just are early competition winners, but they lost so hard that next challenge. So what is the next challenge going to be like? You know what I mean? But I mean, these duels
it's just you're a physical threat, right? Like, and you wouldn't want to go up against a Chris or a Johnny in a duel.
Yeah,
that's 2 duels that are very physical.
Kind of seem like they're very physical, and so that's the only thing I would think of. But I still think it's all kind of like a crapshoot, to be honest.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yes. So we have our new Islanders, Sydney and Marvin.
Oh, that's her name.
Yeah, Sydney. Sydney is Isaiah's ex, and then it seems like she got a little bit of history with Toby. I was a little surprised by that. Somebody in our comments said I wouldn't recognize her because she looks totally different. I went and looked that girl up. She looks different. I was like, oh, her?
I have to look at her old pictures.
I'm like, the girlies they get out the island and they start getting the Botox, the fillers, the implants, the buckle thingies and everything, child, and they switch it up, honey. But okay.
Okay. You remember her from the season now?
Yeah, I remember her from the season. They weren't like a couple that I was like, I did not know that they had lasted so long outside of the villa.
Yeah, they stayed like a year.
Yeah, and then he
Hmm
cheated. So
Yeah, she said that very casually, and then she's like, "But he's still a good guy." I'm like, "How do
yeah,
we
yeah,
define
yeah.
good?"
But it was
Because
traumatic. I was like, "What y'all feel like going on?" I did like that he was like, "You look healthy." Way to see somebody, you look good. You look healthy.
yeah, yeah.
I like that.
But the way he was acting was giving that he was mad at her. So I was very surprised when she said he cheated.
Uh,
So but she must have ripped through because she kept saying I've grown a lot. So she must have ripped through his shit, like
okay, because
set the house on fire type shit because he looked mad when he saw her. Like he
look,
had a reason to be mad.
look. The first time I ever saw somebody, child, it's some.
You got a story time. Is that what's coming?
Say
A
we
story
woo,
time.
it was it was a ridiculous relationship. But the next time I saw that person in person, I think their reaction was I didn't know what she was gonna do, and so
Oh, yeah. I've never had one of those. I've never had one of those. I
crash out
should.
queen, retired, very much so
Oh,
retired. But I have been
really?
there.
Yeah, I've never. I've
Embarrassingly, I
never.
have so much shame for that time of
Oh
my
no,
life.
don't have no shame, girl. Cause
It is what it is.
if he was acting right, you wouldn't have had to do it. Okay, girl. Shoot. Anywho.
Like,
But yeah, they messy for throwing her in there though. I
yeah,
was like
very
bringing
messy.
like this
Very
is very,
messy.
very, very messy. So
Very
maybe there'll be
messy.
drama from that, but they seem like they're trying to be, chill with it or whatever. Like he ain't even got nobody to be with. It was Celine was who he was trying to bark up her tree. She gone, you
Yeah.
know. And Nicole, because that's the thing about the decision. Going back to it, that I did not understand is the Nicola aspect of it because it's like this is your homeboy. One,
Yeah.
you get what I'm saying? And then two, I mean, excuse me, not your homeboy, but your
Your
option,
connection. Yeah.
your connection. And it's like, I understand that this little matchup may have been best for Isaiah because he's the one
Hmm.
who's gonna have to duel against these guys. But you could have been coupled up with this guy, and if KK, maybe you put KK in there and you don't
Yeah.
put Chris in there. You know what I'm saying? Because you can be KK next. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because
But
maybe
it
she
seemed like
doesn't win.
she said that wasn't her decision. So
But no. That like the fact that they have to come to a decision together. So
yeah.
it is your decision to lay down and let this man choose and win the argument. Like that's a
Yeah.
choice. People said in the
Yeah.
comments the
Yeah.
other day, it's a
Yeah.
choice.
It's a choice.
It's a choice.
It
It's a
is.
choice to let this man win the argument, especially when you have something personally. Like I have no one in here. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he's the only other option I have. You know what I mean? Like split up his partner, like
Yeah.
because like Johnny, he's got Andrina, he's not doing well. Andrina's a weaker partner, you know what I'm saying? But
Hmm.
had Johnny been with KK, maybe he'd be doing higher. So you'd still knock Chris down a peg if you put his partner at risk.
Yes. Agreed. Agreed. Do we have any final thoughts?
Think so. The house is about to be slow.
The
Oh,
house is about to be
no,
slow.
I do want to say something about KK and Chris at the top of the episode when what is his name, Gavin,
Marvin.
the new guy, Marvin, came over there and was like, please for chat. I was like, I knew Chris was gonna be pissed off at that
Yeah.
shit. Like I knew it as soon as, but I was like, she did not have to. She could have been like, give me like a couple more minutes and I'll find you. She could have.
Mm. Nope. I was right there with it. Let him know you're a hot commodity in here, baby, and you got options. And
I
so
mean,
fuck around
that
and find out.
him coming up there already says that. You know what I'm saying? And you saying that, yeah, I'll find you. Like that already shows that you're not cutting people off. But I think it's a little bit slight disrespect. Like it's not utmost disrespect at all, but it's slight, like, it's slight disrespect to be like, we just chit chatting and it's like a man come pull me. Yep, all right, bye. Like it's giving like you could have had a little bit more like, I'll come and like, give me a couple minutes. We're in the middle of a chat, but give me a couple minutes. And I'll come find you. And then, you know, you wrap it all up with him.
Not leaving the new one waiting for the old one who
Because you
talking
don't, bec-
about
You don't know
I
who
want
this
to
new
say
one is. This new one could talk crazy out the side of your mouth, and then you come running back,
yes.
like the hoochie mama memes. Like, oh, sorry, babe. Come around the corner, like,
Definitely,
you know.
definitely. But I don't know. I'm like, where in Love Island do people? I mean, like that. I just feel like saying no, not right now, doesn't happen too often. Everybody's like, okay, yeah, sure. We'll talk later. We'll finish this later. Like, I feel like that happens more often than, oh, I'll come find you in about 5 minutes.
Yeah,
Like I've seen
yeah.
that happen, but it ain't happening that much.
All right. Well,
But yeah,
I ain't got nothing
I think
else.
the only last thing I had to say was Kendall. He was like, he was when the guys were ready to go. He was like, "Holy shit, main event!" Like,
Ah.
I wish I could have heard more of his commentary
Mm.
through it all. But yeah, these are. I'm gonna go ahead and post the poll results for episode 6 and 7 here. Episode 8 tonight's will be in the comments, so make sure you go and participate. And yeah, we will catch you for tomorrow's episode. Well, actually Thursday, because there's no episode tomorrow.
Okay. So we got to tell the people we not
Oh,
Saturday.
yeah, Saturday. Saturday we will be covering for Thursday and
And
Friday's
Friday.
episode. So you'll catch us when the after sun is on. You'll have Black Girls Talking TV to entertain you. Yeah. Tomorrow, though, starts Survivor. If anyone here is a Survivor watcher, Survivor fan, we are covering that. We posted our preseason draft pick today. We uploaded that on YouTube, so check that out. Yeah, we will see you this weekend, y'all. Bye.
All right. Bye.